Hi Aries, it's Jill and welcome to Tarot by the Sea. This is your reading for March 2018. I hope you're really well. I'm going to be using the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti and also the Angel Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. Your cards have just all fallen out. How's March treating you? I'm sorry these are a little bit late and I know that all the readings haven't been going out. I do apologise. I'm having to try and balance this with work. And while I'm doing these, I do readings on the phone as well. And while I'm doing these, I'm not on the phone, so I'm not earning any money. So I'm just like trying to balance the two things out. So yes, that's why they're not all coming out, because we've got bills to pay and all that kind of stuff. But I'm doing my very best, guys, and hopefully things will pick up. So here we go. What's going on with your cards? Because they're kind of a little bit all over the place. What's going on? Oh, you're making a new start by the looks of things. We have the Fool. We have the Three of Wands. So you're ready to move on and you're looking to see what's coming in for you. You've made the decision to move on, perhaps towards a passionate new start with an Empress. How nice. Or maybe you're the Empress. The Empress is beautiful. She's nurturing, she's wonderful, she's all about creativity. So maybe it's not a person, maybe it's like a creative venture. There may be some internal conflict about this. Or you may be weighing up your options as well, because you're not sure what's going to make you happy at this point. And you need to choose something, you know, you're coming out of a period of... You're coming out of a period of perhaps being stabbed in the back. You've recovered from that, you know, you've learnt your lessons from it, and you're basically focusing on what's important to you. Or you're trying to focus on what's important to you. For some of you, you're trying to decide what's important to you. You have the Nine of Pentacles, so basically you could be dealing with someone who is kind of financially independent, single, all those kind of things. They're quite happy in their little life. Or that could be you. That could be you. We have the Knight of Wands, which is interesting because it's following on from the Three of Wands where you had that Ace of Wands in your hand. So maybe either you're bringing messages about something that you're passionate about, or someone's bringing these messages to you. Doesn't have to be love. Can be anything, okay? It can be news about anything that you're passionate about, or you may just be moving forward because the Wands energy is all about motivation and drive and all those things as well. So perhaps for some of you, you're just ready for that. For some of you, you're just ready for that move. You're ready to move forward, but you're not actually doing it yet, because you're still deciding what it is that's important to you. But I think towards the end of the month, you're kind of getting to the point where you're realising and you're ready to move forward, because the next card we have is the Magician. So perhaps at this point, you're starting to manifest something. It could also be advice cards. Perhaps you're being told to move forward because you have the Magician. You have the power to basically manifest anything that you want to manifest, which is amazing. And we're coming into Aries season as well, so this is a really important time for you. It's kind of your solar return. It's that kind of period round your birthday where your year actually begins. So that's beautiful. That's an amazing energy for manifestation. And then we have the transition with the World. So it's a transitionary stage from one point to another. And then we have the Two of Wands, where you're almost ready to make that decision. I don't think you're quite ready yet for some of you. Kind of depends on where you are. I think for most of you, by the end of the month, you're ready to move forward, but you haven't actually started taking the action yet. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Cups. Excuse me. Could be third-party celebration. Could be third-party celebration. Oh my goodness. Could be celebration. Could be third-party relationship. Could also be just working with other people, having fun with your friends. Okay. If your birthday's coming up, you could have a celebration coming for your birthday, which is lovely. Okay. So that's the initial cards that we have. We got the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. For some reason I carried on shuffling. We have the Nine of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So you're taking your time, Aries, which is kind of unusual for you, you know, or someone else is taking their time about something. Maybe things are going quite slowly. Maybe you're just taking a break. Looking at the card, the horse is kind of standing in the meadow. It's not actually moving forward. It's a funny one though. It's like you're on your horse. It's like you're on your horse and you're ready to move, but at the moment you're just taking that pause. We have the Five of Air, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation, review everyone's motives. Maybe this is what you're walking away from because it's sitting on top of the Fool card. We have the Queen of Fire, confident, warm, intelligent and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. And it's sitting on top of the Three of Wands. And it's sitting next to the Empress, which we were saying was about creativity, and above the Nine of Pentacles, which is all about that independent energy. Oh, okay, well, we'll see what happens with that. The next two cards that you have are the High Priestess and the Page of Earth. The Page of Earth, good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. Listen to your intuition, have patience, which we were just talking about, taking your time. Consider carefully what you want to do before acting. And that kind of follows on from that Three of Wands energy where it's like you're waiting to see what happens. You want to move forward this month, Aries. I really get the feeling that you want to move forward, but you're not quite sure what it is that you want to do. I'm going to put the Eight of Fire on top of different card because that's where I want to put it, which is a bit odd. The Two of Fire, Five of Water, those two together, and the Queen of Earth. Okay, and on the bottom of this deck we have the Wheel. A time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward, fortune is on your side. That's your overview, which is quite interesting because we have the moving forward quickly and the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So I think what's going to happen, it's like you're moving forward slowly at the moment because you want the Ten of Pentacles, okay? You want the abundance, you want everything. You want the material stability, you want the financial stability, you want the relationship, you want the long-term view. And this is what you're looking at. And once you make that decision, this may be a time of big change for you. There could be a lot of things changing because you have the Fool at the beginning of the deck, at the beginning of the reading as well. So there may be a lot of things have either happened for you or are happening for you. And you're being asked to kind of decide what it is. You know, take your time, think about it, decide what it is that you want to create that Ten of Pentacles. For you, what does the Ten of Pentacles look like? Okay. So, we have the Fool and we have the Five of Air, which is the Five of Swords. Now you've also got the Five of Swords below it, too. Okay. And it's like you're ready to move forward, but you're still deciding what it is. Now, in this deck, the Five of Air is quite different. It says, an unwise choice, learn what you can from this situation and review everyone's motives. Perhaps that's what you're walking away from. Okay, maybe you made an unwise choice in the past and now it's time for you to move on. For others of you, it's basically saying that rushing forward is an unwise choice. Take your time, learn what you can from the situation that you've been in first before you move on, and then take the steps to move forward. But don't move forward like the Fool. Move forward like the Knight of Pentacles. Or maybe this is what you're doing. So for some of you it can go either way. Some of you are going to rush into this, but it's kind of asking you to hold on. I think most of you aren't. I think you're ready to move on. But you're not actually doing it yet. You know, but it's saying take those lessons that you've learned in the past and basically take them with you when you go. Sorry. My son's doing his YouTube videos as well, and he's just doing the music, but unfortunately he hasn't got his headphones on. Have you, Alex?
No, I'm scared.
You could go and get them. Apparently they're upstairs. That's alright, you might just get some extra music in the background. So then we have the Three of Wands. Okay, so you're waiting for your ships to come in. Once you've made this decision, you can move forward with something that you're passionate about, okay? But the reading that we've done so far kind of indicates that we need to work out what this Ace of Wands looks like to you. We have the Queen of Fire, okay, who could be you. The Queen of Fire is the Queen of Wands. So she's busy, she's creative, she's funny, she's social, she's all of those things, you know. Very nurturing, very passionate, confident, warm, intelligent and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. And I think perhaps this is why you want to move on. You want to assert your creativity. You want to assert your independence. And it's telling you to do that. Go for it, you know. This is the time for you to be doing it. It's your solar return. It's the kind of culmination of everything that's happened in the past year since this time last year. And it's like, what have you learnt in that time? And that's where we have the Three of Wands. You're right. Sorry. He's just gone flying into the room. Then we have the Empress. And again, the Empress and the Queen of Wands are very similar to me, okay? But the Empress seems to me to always be more kind of grounded energy. It's the mixture between the Queen of Wands and perhaps the Queen of Pentacles as well. She's more grounded, she's more stable. It's more about long-term stability and security. She's more successful, obviously, than the Queen, because she is the Empress, okay? The Queen can kind of like, she may rule over a kingdom, but this lady rules over an empire. So it's what's going to bring you that success. We have the Page of Earth. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging, a new area of study. For each of you, this is going to be individual, but for each Aries, I think the feeling is that you're ready to move on to something new. You're ready to move on to something that's going to bring you more stimulation, more passion in your life. It's like you want to extend yourself, you want to move forward, and you want to do something which kind of is for you, you know, something that you're passionate about. For some of you, you will be going back into study. For others of you, it's like, what can you do in terms of your career? It could be about a relationship as well, to be honest, but I'm not massively seeing this. This feels kind of like it's more about you. Listen to your intuition. You have the High Priestess. Now this could be a water sign that you're dealing with, okay? Listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting, and this is what you're being told to do. This is kind of going all the way through the reading. It's like things moving quickly, but act like the Knight of Pentacles. You know, we have the Fool, and then it's like, learn what you can first before you move on. And it's kind of being reiterated all the way through this reading. It's like you're an Aries and you're ready to move forward and you're ready to rush in. But either you're still thinking about what it is that you're passionate about, or you're being asked to be. Okay. We have the Five of Wands. So you're weighing up a situation. There may be some internal conflict about it. There may be conflict with other people about it. But this card, to me, I mean, if you have a look at it, they're not actually hitting each other with those things. They're just kind of looking at them. It's kind of like, I imagine, kind of builders, you know, when they're kind of measuring stuff up, or engineers or something, and they're just kind of looking at the end of it to go, right, okay, what's my long-term goal? And that's what it is. It's like, what are your long-term goals, Aries? We have the Three of Air. Now this could tie in with the Five of Air, okay? Whatever you've learned in the past year, you know, since your last solar return, whatever you've learned, there may be some things that have been quite hurtful for you, okay? Because this card says, great sadness, take time to heal the need to forgive yourself or others. So this may be what the internal conflict's about. Maybe you're feeling quite upset about something as well. Maybe you're feeling quite upset about having to move on. Maybe someone else is feeling quite upset about you moving on. And I think the feeling that I get if you look at that card, it's like there are two unicorns there and the baby, okay? And maybe for some of you, you have moved on from someone who you genuinely care about, you know, or someone has moved on from you that you genuinely care about. But my sense is that you've moved on from someone that you genuinely care about. And there are real feelings there, and you don't want this person to feel upset. And you don't want to feel upset, and it is hurting you. But you just need to have this move. You need to move on. Events moving at a fast pace. 8 of Fire. Delays are over, many things happening at once. Maybe it happened quite suddenly. Maybe it happened quite suddenly, and maybe you weren't expecting it, you know. Or maybe it's been brewing for a while, but kind of it's come to a head in this period of time, and it's just like, you know, it's been brewing, and then suddenly you or the other person is just like, right, I'm going, I've got to do it, I've got to go and do what it is that I want to do. Maybe it's something you've been thinking about for a long time, and suddenly you've just gone, right, sod it, I'm doing it. Okay, and then you've just decided to go ahead and do it, and you've done whatever it is that you need. We have the Justice card. Now for me, the Justice card is like she's manifesting, but she doesn't actually, you know, she can manifest happiness, but she's not seeing it. She's got this blindfold on. The lights in her hands are basically like her manifesting, and this is the sun down here. And it's like she can manifest something that will make her happy, but she doesn't actually see it, you know. And it could be dealing with a Libra because we have the scales there as well. For some of you, it's like if you're coming out of a period where you're hurting, or you're in a period where you're hurting, maybe you're just trying to get your emotional balance and just try and make yourself happy again, you know. Maybe you're not seeing that you're ever going to be happy again, but you will. You know, you're manifesting happiness. You need to take those steps forward, and you just need to believe. Okay. The Chariot, the moving forward card. Okay. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower and public recognition. This is important in your life. Whatever it is that you're doing, this is going to move you forward massively. It may be conflicting for you. We have the white horse and we have the black horse. Okay, you may be quite conflicted about this. But I think what the universe is saying to you is that you need to stick with this. If it's a relationship, it may be quite hurtful. Even if it's leaving a job, it could be quite hurtful. Maybe you've worked with these people for a long time, and it's kind of like you really love it there, but you need to move on. There is this real need to level up, Aries. There is this sense of needing freedom, needing independence, needing to level up in your life. It feels like for some of you, you may have been stuck for a long time. But suddenly you have this urge, you have this 8 of Fire urge to move forward. And it's really interesting because it does feel like I'm getting this sense of just a push. It's like the universe has pushed you. Something may have happened which has triggered this, because we have the life experience card as well, which is this one. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change and time to spread your wings. And then this one we have as well. So this must have happened in the past, because then we have the Queen of Fire. So maybe the emergence of this Queen of Fire, who could be you, it could be another fire sign, has been the trigger to motivate this. Because we have time to spread your wings in the life experience card, and then it says stretch your wings and fly. Okay. So maybe this Queen of Wands has been the trigger, or maybe this, whatever this change has been what has motivated you to get into that Queen of Wands energy and just go for it. For some of you, you may have made a choice in a relationship, okay? You may have gone through a painful situation in a relationship. You're choosing what's important to you. For me, this is the Ten of Swords, okay? They're being stabbed in the back card. This is the 9 of Wands, which is coming out of it. And then we have this Triumph here. So maybe you've gone through this cycle and you're starting to kind of get yourself together at this point. You're choosing what's important to you. And what could be important to you is the Queen of Water. who could also be the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Fire, or possibly not. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Take care of yourself and others. And that's bringing me back to this card, which is the kind of taking care of yourself and others card too. Maybe if someone has moved away, I had this for another reading as well. Maybe if someone has moved away, you need to focus on your children and kind of taking care of your children at this point, and just taking care of yourself as well. But you have this drive, you have this massive drive to move forward. And this is beautiful. Look, we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is basically this single, independent person. Okay, could be female, could be financially abundant, in her beautiful garden with her beautiful clothes, her own hobbies. Just she's basically got her own life. Everything is wonderful. And then it says, then we have the Two of Fire, which says, you've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. Aries, this is beautiful. And there you are, moving forward on your horse with your Ace of Wands in your hand. We have the Five of Water. And it's just like you're moving away from the Five of Water. The Five of Water says things not turning out the way you'd hoped, not seeing the positive of the situation, crying over spilt milk, but you're moving away from that. For many of you, you are moving away from that. For some of you, you may move forward really, really quickly, and it may turn into the Five of Water. And maybe this is why you're being told to hold on and be the Knight of Pentacles rather than the Knight of Wands. But I'm kind of not seeing that for the majority of you. For the majority of you, it's like you're moving away from that heartbreak stage and you're moving into something that's really passionate. And we have the Magician. Okay, the Eight of Fires ends up with this as well. So there you are, taking control of your life. We have the Emperor. Okay. Organisation and logic, structure and discipline and leadership. The Emperor and the Magician. How amazing is that? That is absolutely awesome for you, Aries. I'm so proud of you. Then we have the Knight of Air. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. Okay, this could be because the Eight of Fire has basically ended up migrating down into this bit as well. Maybe things are happening really, really quickly. Okay, events moving at a fast pace, delays are over, lots of things happening at once, which isn't surprising. Because you have the Emperor and you have the Magician. You have so much going on. You have so much potential there that I wonder whether it's kind of like, can I handle it? Can I actually handle it? And this is why the Emperor is saying take control. Use organisation and logic, structure and discipline, and use your leadership. Okay? And this is why you're basically stressing out, because maybe for some of you, I'm getting the sense that like all this is happening and it's all amazing stuff, but you're just like, holy crap, what the hell just happened, you know? How did I end up here? What's going to happen? Oh my God, it's all going to go wrong. Everything's looking so good, but it's all going to go wrong. For others of you, it's just like you are moving forward, but there is still so much to do. You are trying really, really hard to kind of, we haven't got the juggling card, but you're trying really hard to manifest. You're trying really hard to get things done. But it kind of feels like it still isn't enough for you. Maybe you're still feeling this Five of Water, you know, and you're trying to move forward. But maybe you're still feeling that kind of, I hate saying crying over spilt milk, okay? I hate saying that because in the Gilded Tarot card, where the guy is kind of looking at the 3 cups that are spilt and there are the 2 cups behind him, if he's crying over those 3, they are obviously more important to him than the 2 behind him. Okay, yes, he can turn around and see those. Maybe he already knows that they're there, but the thing that he's focused on at the moment is the 3 in front that are upsetting him. Okay, so crying over spilt milk really sounds like it's kind of putting it down, and I really don't mean to, so that's why I don't like to use it. But we have that, and maybe you're still kind of in that stage. You're trying to move forward. Perhaps you're dealing with the Knight of Wands, and this is the problem. The Knight of Wands kind of like comes flying in with all his passion and all of those things, and then he just buggers off again. And it's just like he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. And for some of you, maybe that's what it is. Maybe you've been dealing with this Knight of Wands, and he's come in again, and then he's gone out again. And it's just like you're still trying to deal with that, but you're still trying to move forward. And if that's the situation, then it's basically saying you can do better than that, okay? The magician sometimes, to me, comes across as this could be the other person. Basically, the magician can manifest just about anything, okay? Well, he can manifest anything. He's got potential to manifest anything. But he will use any means in which to do it. So he will use good means, he will use bad means. He will use lies and deception and love and joy and all of those things. He will use everything to basically manifest. And if it's positive, then that's fantastic. But this does come across the narcissist card as well to me, where basically, not even just a narcissist, but someone who's just a bit of an arse, quite honestly, who will use any means possible to get what they want. And then if you merge that with the Knight of Wands, basically you've got someone who comes in, promises you the world, and then buggers off again. And the next card we actually had, I believe, was the World. There we go. So maybe this is exactly what he did. Maybe he came in, he promised you the world, he buggered off again. For some of you, that's the situation. And in this case, and maybe it all happened really, really fast. Okay? Because we have the Eight of Wands, events moving at a fast pace. Many things happening at once. And maybe this is what's causing you sleepless nights, but you need to take control. Maybe this person's quite controlling as well. But this is you taking control, because you are an Aries. Okay? Now for some of you, this may be the other way around, and you might be the Knight of Wands, and you might be behaving like that. And if you're behaving like that as well, then basically what I just said about you being an arse is actually true. Yay! But it's true, isn't it? It's like, I hate to be mean to you. I love you guys. But it's like if there has to be an element of control in behaviour, if that's the way that, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be mean, but it's like, if somebody is doing that, you wouldn't want someone to do that to you. So if you're the one who's kind of in and out, you know, and leaving these kind of people with sleepless nights and all of this stuff and crying over spilt milk, then really, 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 you do kind of need to take control of that behaviour and kind of stop doing it, quite honestly, because it's not very fair. Okay? And these are the cards that we have. It's like we have the World card. So as I said, for some of you it's the Knight of Wands, came in as the Magician, in order to be the Magician, promised you the world, and then disappeared again. For some of you, this is the end of a cycle. Okay? And for some of you, it's the end of the end. You have the 10 and the 10, and the 1. So it's like you've got to the point where you're just like, nope, this is the end of the cycle. It's like the battle and the war, isn't it? It's like, this is the end of the battle, this is the end of the war, I'm starting again from scratch, on my own, as the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, I've come into my own now. I am the Emperor, I am the Magician. Okay, I can do whatever I want to do. I don't need to kind of go through this anymore. And on a more positive note, for the ones of you who just need a change, just need that new challenge, just need something that is going to move you forward into the next level, then this is basically you transitioning up. I'm not sure you've entirely started making the decision yet. I'm not sure you've entirely decided on your path yet, and this is what you're being asked to do. But we have the Queen of Earth. Okay. Thoughtful, creative, warm and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach, dealing with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So it's saying take a sensible approach to this, okay? We don't need to go rushing in. You have the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of your deck. You have the Wheel card, okay, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which things are moving in your favour. Time is passing. It's kind of like you are getting there. There is this element of time, but it's like you have this urge to move forward, and it's just saying, before you move forward, just take a breath. Okay, if you need to heal, heal. If you need to decide what you want to do, decide what you want to do, and then go for it. then absolutely go for it. It's kind of it's kind of calm before the storm. You know, you are coming into your solar return. There is this little lull, this little space in which to kind of decide what you're going to do in the next year. This is the kind of end of your cycle, which we have with the world. You have this kind of end of your cycle, which is the summing up of last year, and you've just got that little bit to wait through, and then your solar return happens, and then basically, as from your birthday, your solar year starts, and everything starts to pick up again. So it's this point of planning what it is that you want to do, deciding where you want to level up, how you want to level up, and how you want next year to go. This is a really exciting reading for you, Aries. I am so excited for you. It's absolutely beautiful. So, whatever's happening for you, enjoy it. Take some time, excuse me, take some time for yourself as well, okay? If you are still in this Five of Cups space, if you are still in the Three of Swords space, I am so sorry. But you know what, guys, you can do this. You really can. It may feel a little bit overburdening at some point. It may feel that it's really difficult for you, but you do have these two cards. You have the Magician and you have the Emperor. Okay? If this is you, this is fantastic. If this is someone who has been showing the negative elements of those people, okay, the kind of manipulation and the controlling behaviour, and they're not in your life anymore, I'm really sorry to say it. It doesn't matter how much you love them, but I think you're probably better off, because you don't need to be controlled and you don't need to be manipulated. Okay, it may hurt, it may leave you with challenges to deal with, but you can do this, you can manage this, okay? Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. Right, my darlings, I'm going. That looks like a really exciting reading for you. I'm very pleased for you. So enjoy the lull, do your planning, decide what you want to do in the next year. This is kind of like, this month is kind of like month 0 for you, okay? Which is totally apt because we have the Fool. The Fool is kind of the step before the opportunities start coming in, and this is where you're ready to go. You're on the starting block, ready to go. Okay, and then as from next month, as from when your solar return comes in, is basically when those aces start flowing. Okay, so have a fantastic month, and I will speak to you with the weeklies. Okay, take care, lots of love, bye bye.